And then let's go over to Sunday games. Lions 31, Buccaneers 23. It was a little bit of a back and forth game, but it never felt like the Bucs were ever able to get control of it. The one of the big keys to the game that we talked about on last week's episode for Tampa Bay was getting pressure on Jared Goff, not letting him get comfortable, not letting it become, or trying to make it to become a drop back pass game, which the Lions, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, didn't let happen. They did a good job of being able to run the ball effectively. I think they ran it for over 100. They ran it for over 100 yards, and the Tampa Bay was never able to get any of those exotic blitzes that Todd Bowles is so known to draw up, that they just couldn't get to him. And the Lions, their final in the second half, they had 5 drives in the second half, excluding the kneel down. They scored 3 touchdowns on them in 3 of their 5 ended with touchdowns, and that ended up being the difference in the game. And they made, again, it was playoff football. Who's going to make the plays when you have to make the plays? And the Lions were the ones that did that.
I think we got to give credit to Aaron Glenn here coming into this game, because Detroit's defense was taking some shots. They were taking some strays from the media, us, just everyone talking. They were just like, this Lions defense is going to let this team down. And, Aaron Glenn, he had enough of that, and he schemed up some pressures this week where he got people running free to Baker Mayfield. And, you can, anytime that you got free rushers coming at your quarterback, there's a good chance you're going to win and the other team's going to make a couple mistakes. First, and then especially in the first half when I think Detroit was up 3-0, or Brian Branch coming off the edge for a first down sack. It's now 2nd and 19. That's a drive killer. Aiden Hutchinson stepping up with 2 more big sacks. Detroit's defense kind of bowing out and making plays when they needed to. And when you do that and then the game gets on the line and Tampa needs a field goal or needs a touchdown to win it, you bring some pressure. Baker's going to try to force it in there to his tight end, and Detroit gets the interception and they seal the game. So, credit to Aaron Glenn for, bringing some pressure and saying, you know what, we can't let Baker get comfortable, because with these skilled players and with maybe how weak our secondary is, if we don't get to Baker, he's going to tear us up.
And I think you said it, Grant, giving Aaron Glenn credit, because we were talking about how he was going to be the reason why the Lions don't go far. But Chris Collinsworth talked about it on the broadcast last week of how, what is something we might not be good at many things, but we're gonna make sure that we shut down the run. And for 2 straight weeks, they have done a good job of shutting down the run. And what do we talk about all the time in December? Or what wins football games in January? Stopping the run and running the football. And there is not a better team right now doing what the Lions are doing right now than running the football and stopping the run. And then, against a guy like Baker, how many tip passes did the Lions defense force? That was another thing that I was looking at too, and it felt like whenever there were some big plays that had to be made, the Lions were the ones swatting the ball down or intercepting it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then once again, Dylan, like you said, the Eagles, 2 Mondays ago, they couldn't get anything going on the ground game. Well, Detroit, they were able to get something going, and they were able to, keep that passing game going, like you said, get Gibbs going. Montgomery had an okay game, but yeah, anytime this Lions offense is going forward the way that they are, and they're able to run the ball and get that play action game going, it's going to be hard pressed for any of these teams left in this year for them to beat them. And another thing is just how Dan Campbell has built this locker room and how much they trust him and how much they love the players around him. Even when these guys are hurt, Frank Ragnow out there being a warrior, probably having a high ankle sprain and a sprained MCL, you're not going to take him off this field. They're truly playing for each other. They're rallying for each other. And there's something special going in Detroit right now. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes on Sunday here, but it could be. All I'm going to say this is it could be something special because they truly do love each other and they're playing for something way bigger than us, and it's a treat to see.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it's a flash in the pan in Detroit either. Which what we've seen for so many years, which basically our entire lives dating back to 1995, or 94 in your case, where it was like, well, we didn't see him make the playoffs until I was a junior in high school. You were a senior in high school. So 17, 18 years of our lives, and they had a couple of spans of where they'd make the playoffs and then they'd go 3-13 the next year. So this seems something different. There seems something different about what's going on in Detroit, that this isn't a flash in the pan, and who knows? We might be having Jordan Love and
Jared Goff
battles for the NFC North for years to come.
Yeah, and it all goes back to last year when they ended the season on that stretch to get to 9-8. And I think when they defeated Green Bay and they eliminated them from the playoffs, that's when Detroit was like, okay, we're bought in. We can do this. And now as we go into free agency this offseason, who wouldn't want to go sign up and play for this team and that coaching staff?